Alright guys, fire our shit!
Well, howdy folks, and welcome back to the garage. Today I'm looking over the IS7, one of the Tier 10 heavy tanks in the Soviet lineup. IS-7 is quite an impressive vehicle for me. I really like it. It's got a nice balance of mobility, armor, and an effective weapon, to be sure. I suppose we should start with IS-7's armor layout. Frontal hull armor is 150 millimeters, which doesn't sound like much when we think about Tier 10 vehicles, but when you look at the angles of the pike nose layout, my, but the upper plate is sporting effective armor thicknesses in the neighborhood of 300 millimeters, give or take. Indeed, the pike nose seen head-on from a T110E5, one of the American Tier 10 heavy tanks, with regular AP loaded, they see this. That's pretty intimidating, and you can expect to see a lot of spicy ammo coming your way. And of course, we're all taught to angle our tanks from enemy fire, but the pike nose is most effective head-on, so try and break the habit of angling when you're playing this tank. Even so, it doesn't give you a whole lot of other options to shoot if you're angled a little bit, but that's where your weaknesses will be presented. Side armor is also 150 millimeters, but without the same crazy angling as the pike nose. Side armor is pretty easy to penetrate, as is the rear armor's 100 millimeter plating. Head-on is a ticket with IS-7 for the most part, it seems, but side scraping up to 20 degrees is also quite viable, as you can see here. IS-7's turret, also well armored, with 240 millimeters on the front, 185 on the side, and 94 on the rear, and the curved slope frontal armor is practically impenetrable by all Tier 10 heavy AP ammo. So there you go. Again, you may see some serious spicy ammo flowing your way. The real pleasure I find IS-7, and the surprise for me, that's the mobility. This is a big 68-ton vehicle, heavy as hell, but the 1155 horsepower engine gives us almost 17 horsepower per ton on a power-to-weight ratio, which is pretty good for a heavy tank. Acceleration isn't brisk, but it's good, and a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour is amazing, but don't expect to see it unless you have a longish run or a slight downhill grade. 40 plus kilometers per hour is quite achievable though. As well, the hull traverse speed of 27 degrees is great. Turret traverse of 18 degrees, it's quite workable. And speaking of workability, the 130 millimeter S70 tank cannon is a huge step up from the ubiquitous Soviet 122 millimeter weapons we see climbing the heavy tank lines. 5.5 rounds per minute, as I have the tank spec, isn't bad, and the average penetration of 260 millimeters and 460 average damage that you get with the regular armor piercing is most often all you need in my experience. But you can also throw some spicy APCR down the barrel in those situations where only spicy ammo will do, and reap the benefits of 303 millimeters of average penetration and 390 average damage. Even the high explosive ammo with 68 millimeters of penetration will have its uses against those thin-skinned opponents. Dispersion, 0.367, and aim time of 5.4 seconds are also very nice at this level and competitive at Tier 10. So, how would I play this tank? Well, the lower plate, that's got to be covered up, if at all possible, as you try and stay aligned head-on to your enemies to maximize the effectiveness of your pike-nosed upper glacis. The lower plate, it's got nice angling, but the 150 millimeters here will not stand up. Use your excellent mobility, I think, to take advantage of the flanking opportunities and bring your 130 millimeter cannon bear where it's needed most. Don't use your mobility to lead the pack, as your bone stock view range of 260 meters won't give you enough notice of danger ahead. Let your lights and mediums do this, and then use your mobility to exploit rather than to discover. All told, you're driving a great vehicle, in my opinion. Enjoy it. Kick some butt out there, dudes. Well folks, there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below. If you really enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments. As well, be sure to visit my social media pages, both on Facebook and Twitter. This is where I post info that, well, not belonging in a video, it's worth taking a look at. Now, a lot of you have been very generous with donations, becoming patrons, or donating during the live streams, or sending in your replays so I can commentate and put them up for others to enjoy. But it's also very helpful just watching the vids, liking and subscribing, so I just wanted to make sure that those of you who support in that manner know that I really appreciate what you're doing as well. Thank you. Links to all things in the video description. Alright folks, thanks very much for stopping by and watching. I'll catch you next time.